Oh, that's weird. For some reason, it didn't pick up my microphone. Hey, all right. Well, thanks for telling me I'm muted. All right, I'm back. Hey, everyone. Okay, I see your chats. Um, man, I wish it gave you unique. Oh man, I gotta fix this chat box. I will fix it. Do not worry. Font settings, font size, smaller, smaller, smaller. Yeah, that's pretty good, I guess. That works for me. Visual settings, clean. School. Oh, no. Chunky. Kind of stinks that everyone's names show up the same color. Shouldn't. I don't know. Clean. Boxed. No. Dislike. I'm just messing around with these settings here. Chunky. That might look the best. That might look the best. I don't know. Font settings. Sucks it doesn't show your names properly. That's so weird. Huh. It all just shows up blue. You guys are all blue. Is there a way you could change your font or your name color? I wonder. Like if you do like slash color, like no. Well, Twitch is different. Anyways, hi everyone. Welcome to the stream. We're just hanging out for a minute. Gonna give you guys shout outs and whatnot in a second here, so make sure you type stuff in chat if you want me to shout you out. We're gonna go through. I've got a little bit of a different setup, as you can see. Something new, something funky. I told you guys I've been working on this for a while, and it's finally starting to happen. It's finally coming to fruition here. So we're basically just testing some stuff out. To be honest, I was really kind of unprepared for this one. I didn't really think we'd get to a product review, but we will be doing a kind of reviewy thing. It's going to be a sort of review, all right? It's not going to be like the normal one because I forgot to bring the box home for this thing. So I'm going to show you what I got. Today it's the Kylin M AIO. This guy right here. Big shout out to Vandy Vape for sending this one to me. Yeah, unfortunately, Jenny, Twitch ways do not work here. Boo. You can't change your name automatically. That's so weird that it's just all the same color. I wonder if that's like a Streamlabs thing or if that's a YouTube thing or what. I don't know because, well, I mean, YouTube doesn't have name colors really. But in either case, doesn't matter. For British Eyes says, "Show me what you got." All right. So yeah, let's do some shout outs here. First of all, shout out to everyone that told me I was muted. I don't know why it did that. Because it showed up Yeti, my microphone, this thing right here. It showed up, but it was gray and it didn't have little bars jumping, which is not good. You want the little bars jumping when you want sound. So I had no idea. But then I had to actually go into the settings for it and choose which input device. And I'm like, okay, should have already done that, but well. Again, when you're sitting here being quiet, working on stuff before the stream starts, you don't really pay attention to that because you're not talking and the bars don't jump. Anyways, Robert Saylor, thanks for getting here nice and early. He was the first one in the room. We've got Puddle Jumper 84. Thomas Hull is here. Jennison Designs, our lovely moderator. We've got Dismofugger here. How's it going? We've got Bob Shorkey tuning in. How we doing? AT. We have ourselves a... Let's see who's next. For British Eyes Only. How we doing? We've got a Mowgli Vapes. He says something appropriate. We've got Jay Jerry checking in. How we doing? The blue is too dark. I don't know how to change that, unfortunately, Jay Jerry. I don't. I don't think it's in the settings. I don't know how to do HTML or custom CSS or anything, unfortunately. I can change the theme. I can change the background color. I can change the font settings. I can change the font color, but that doesn't have anything to do with your names, unfortunately. The chatter thing, I only have options for hide commands and hide common chat bots. And then the source, it's basically just, let's see. I have no idea about custom CSS. I am horrible with that. It really only gives me the option to control the audio, which it doesn't have audio. Shut down the source, refresh the browser, blah, blah, blah. We'll just refresh the cache, I suppose. That's going to delete all your messages, so keep typing stuff. Yeah, I don't know CSS code. I'm sorry. Oh, wait, there we go. Then now a purple name pops up. All right, you guys keep typing stuff. I need to see this. This is for experimentation purposes. Do we have random name colors or no? So type something in chat and let me know. I want to see. I'm curious. And I know there's like a big delay. I might turn down the latency too for next time because normal latency is almost 10 seconds. The standard latency is like 10 seconds. Low latency is like X amount of seconds. Oh, you can... That is the weirdest thing, man. Now everyone's purple. I don't know. I don't get it. I wonder if it's literally just... It assigns a color. Stuff and things and stuff. Yes. But thank you all for joining me. We're going to be talking about some vape stuff. We're going to be talking about some advocacy stuff, which I rarely talk about these days. And we're going to be talking about the Kylin M AIO, this shiny guy right here. So I'm actually going to go over, we're going to change the scene. Now that I experimented with that a little bit, oh man, I wonder if there's a way to change that. I'm going to have to do some homework on that for next time. So when clear, change it to purple or just refresh it until you get a decent color. Yeah, I could do that. I wonder if it just cycles through colors every time you clear the cache. We're going to do one more experiment before we change the scene. We're going to do one more experiment with this. And we're going to clear the cache again. And see if it changes things for us here. So just keep typing some stuff. Let's see if it pops up a different color next time someone types something in chat. Anytime. Whenever you want. Damn latency. I know I'm going to get... Oh, there we go. Mowgli says some stuff. Okay, perfect. So, yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It's just... every time you clear the cache, it just chooses a different color. I don't know if it's random or what, but... Hey. AT wants me to talk about my journey to Zero Nick. Okay, well, let's talk about that. Why not? We got some time to kill. Let's go over to the main cam, though. All right, so here we are, main camera. There, focus. So my journey to and from Zero Nick. So for a while, I was doing zero nicotine, and I found myself, well, okay. I made the decision to go down to 0. I went from 3 straight to 0, and it wasn't a good time. It was kind of poopy because I struggled with it a lot. I mean, obviously, with anything, you struggle a little bit. And I found myself not vaping. Like, I would just not vape. I found myself being irritable. And I did sample box for 0 for a few months, and I have a bunch of 0 milligram juice. It wasn't for the lack of finding a decent flavor. Like, I had a couple of really good ones in there. I had, plenty at my disposal. I had a whole vape shop full of 0 milligram that I could vape from. And for some reason, I was just dissatisfied. I'm just like, don't even feel like vaping anything right now. You ever get that, like, feeling where you're just like, you have a whole bunch of juice in front of you, and you're just like, I don't feel like vaping any of this. That's kind of how it was. I was just like, meh, about the whole situation. And it sucked because I was still getting a bunch of products in, and I had to review them, and then it made me not want to review the products because I didn't want to vape. I didn't want to vape at all, to be honest with you. So I would just find myself not vaping for quite some time. The only time I would ever vape really would be, a little bit here and there, and then also for review purposes. I would review something, I'd vape on it, decently, enough time to get my opinions on it, and that would be about it. Then I would just put it down and just let it be, and, until I found something else to review. So that was my adventures down to 0. I was on 0 for about 4 months or so, 3-4 months. And then I started to mix in a little bit of nicotine, and I was going for like 1.5. I started with 1.5, and it was almost like, I felt guilty because I was going backwards, but at the same time, it's 1.5 milligrams. It really wasn't that much. And I just didn't really care anymore. I'm just like, all right, well, at least I'll vape. At least I'll want to vape, and I'll have a reason to vape, and I'll actually pick my mods up from once in a while and have a puff. Well, it's off. See, I'm a responsible vapor. I shut my mods off when I put them in my bag. So I've been on 1.5 milligrams since about the beginning of this year, and it's been going a lot better for me. I actually do want to vape, and the unfortunate part of that, the unfortunate side effect, is that we started getting disposable vapes in at the shop. So of course we want to try them. So they gave us samples and whatnot. So we got the samples and we started puffing on them, and we're like, ooh, this one's good. Ooh, this one's good. Ooh, this one's good. And before you knew it, I was like hooked on the disposable 50 milligram vapes, and I was just hopelessly hooked on those. I would just have a ton at all times. I'd have a handful of them, and then I would barely ever use my full-blown mod setups. So now it's the struggle of getting off the disposables. And that actually kind of brings up a good point, because I wanted to tell you guys that today I got myself a Caliburn. Now, I know a lot of people love the Caliburn, and I can definitely see why now. It's a really nice device. First of all, it's got a really good draw. This draw I would put right up there with something like the MyJet from way back. The MyJet was my favorite pod system because it had the perfect draw. This thing here has just the right draw for me. For me personally, I really like the pull on it. It feels nice. It feels restricted, and it gives me a good mouth to lung, very similar to the disposables that I've been vaping. So awesome. Yes, great, step in the right direction there. Now the nicotine that I'm using in this is 50 milligram. Already I've noticed the big difference though between the disposable 50 and this 50. This 50 feels a lot more harsh and strong compared to disposable 50, which is kind of making me suspect that it's not really 50, not really 5% nicotine. It might be something a little lower. It might be up and down depending on which batch or whatever. So that really kind of makes me worried about using disposables and what we're selling at the shop. Not that I have any choice over that matter, but I'm just saying. Now, 50 milligram is a lot of nicotine. I'm sure you guys know that. So right off the bat, I'm already planning my descent down to the 35 mark. If I can get down to 35 by the next bottle, I'll be in good shape. Now, I wanted something similar to the thing that I like, which is banana ice. So I got myself banana ice, Salt Bay banana ice, and it's okay. It's decent. It'll do, but it's not disposable banana ice, and I don't know how to describe it. Disposable banana ice is it's Chinese made e-liquid, so it's very artificial tasting. It's almost not quite chemically, but it's just ridiculously sweet and ridiculously mentholy, and it's just it gives you that hit that you want. It's very appealing, and I can see how it would be appealing to a younger crowd because it's sweet, it's menthol, it doesn't burn, it's not super harsh, and it's 50 milligrams. So 50 on here is definitely a bit much. I've already started to kind of cut it down with some other stuff. I have a little 3 milligram that I'm kind of filling the pod with every time I puff it down enough. So that's kind of going to be my plan, is to basically cut this bottle here with some 3 milligram and cut it down to whatever the vapor math for that would be, which is like, 26, 27. Might not be an exact cut because the bottle that I have that cut it with is a 15 mil. So let's say it's going to dilute it by half instead of, or no, it's going to dilute it by a quarter instead of a half. Do that vapor math. I challenge you. But this Caliburn is fantastic. If you guys are looking to get off disposables or off the Juul or off anything that is high strength, and you don't want it to completely quit or anything like that, you want to be able to lower your nicotine, you want a good hit, you want the button and easy charging and long battery life, then I would recommend the Caliburn. Until something can knock this off its pedestal, it's going to be the best pod system. I've heard really good things about the new Smoke N-Fix, so I just don't care about a screen. I really don't. I do not care about having a screen on my pod system. I don't think it's necessary. Anyways, Nick steps on his supply. Wow. I don't know. I can't vape a true 50, I guess. But Caliburn is awesome. Really digging it. So that's my story about my adventure going from 3 milligram vaping heavy every day. And I mean, I'll partially blame it on COVID. I went to 0 before COVID, and as my stress level went way up with COVID and having to do curbside pickup and having to do the phones all day, every day, and then now with wearing masks, you only get about 30 seconds in between customers because during the time of lockdown, New York banned flavors. So now we have people driving down from New York, or up from New York for that matter, state or city, to go to my shop and buy flavors. So we have another chunk of a customer base coming to my shop. So my shop is basically a hub. I've had people drive out from everywhere, down from Vermont, down from Albany, which is upstate New York, over from Rhode Island, all the way out from the Cape in Massachusetts, and they're all going to my shop. So we literally get like maybe 30-second little pockets where we could just take our mask off, puff, 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 and then put our mask back on. So that's kind of why I ended up vaping 50. So it was like 3 milligrams, 0 milligram for a few months. Angry Nick right about there. And then I started going, okay, well, I need some nicotine. And then all of a sudden, the disposables happened. And then now it's kind of like going to be the descent again. But I will say that I am still using my 1.5 milligram setups. I have several here, which kind of brings me to the next general topic. We've already gone through about half the show and we haven't talked about the device that we're going to be talking about. But we've got this setup right here, which is the Druga 2 on top of the Heavy Hitter mod by Tenacious TX Vapes and Heavy Metal Vapor. Druga 2, obviously, that is from Og Vape. We've got some of the Fountain e-liquid in there, this guy. And that is like a Mountain Dew kind of thing. It's a Baja Blast Mountain Dew. Next one I've got is the Pulse 2 with the Rye RDA. And that has some of this in there. The Mango Tango, one of my favorites of all time. It's a mango, peach, pineapple, and blackcurrant. Absolutely love it. Let's actually have a puff of that real quick. Really good stuff. I actually have a glow-in-the-dark BT Customs drip tip on here. The guys that make the Squarius mod that I have, that really cool blue Juma wood one, they make just drip tips too. And this is actually, I think he said it was some sort of wood. It might be resin. I don't know. Honestly, I just buy the stuff, man. But it's kind of like pearlescent, not pearlescent, but it's like opaque and it glows in the dark. It's really cool. What's going on, Big G? John Benanati. Who else we got in here? Robert Saylor made it back. Thanks for joining us. Let's see. John says he DIYs now. I'm at 5% from 6 and want to go to 3, but at that point I'll stay there for a while. That was me for I vaped 3 for like 5 or 6 years, maybe even 7. My first 2 years I dropped down from 18 down to 3. After like right around the 2 or 2.5 year mark, I dropped down to 3 milligram, and I've been at 3 milligram ever since until recently. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And last but not least, of course, the Caliburn with some of this iced banana Salt Bay 50. I know 5% is 50. Yes, 5% is 50 milligram, or because that's a very confusing thing for a lot of people. 0.6 equals 0.6% equals 6 milligram. 6% equals 60 milligram. I do also like the button on the Caliburn. Anyways, moving on. Let's talk about this Kylin M AIO. I've had this thing for a few weeks now, and it's really damn nice. I've been using it in rebuildable mode this entire time. I haven't bothered with the stock coils. Perhaps when I use the stock coil, once this cotton is just completely given up, I will do a re-review kind of thing, just showing off what comes in the packaging and all that stuff, and maybe throw a new build on it, because I'm sure you guys want to see that, and I don't have any of the stuff with me. Otherwise, I'd be doing it tonight. Regardless, the Kylin M AIO has two sides here. We have the Kylin side, and we have the shiny side, the cool looking side. Now, I'm not sure why any company can come up with a device with two matching panels. How difficult would that be? Come on, just give me two matching panels. I want a nice, clean look overall. Like, this is just, no. I'm not a fan. I know it's not that bad, but it's just obnoxious. It's obnoxious that they need to advertise on the mod that they just sold you. And come on, it makes me want to hold it like this. It makes me want to hold it in my right hand with my finger on the trigger here. because that way you won't see that ugly Kylin logo. What's up, Enders? How we doing? Erwin Kopecki, thanks for joining me. We've been talking about my adventures in nicotine choice, I suppose. But now we're talking about this Kylin AIO, which I find very interesting. Now, I guess my big gripe with this one was the drip tip that came with it, because I instantly sought out a replacement for it because I thought the one that came with it was completely hideous. I found this one here, which fits pretty darn nice. It doesn't really have any overhang or anything. It's got that like tapered look. This one is made by Half Moon Mods. It's just a slight little taper to it. Perfect thickness, size, everything, height. It looks a little bit weird because this thing looks like a little tiny dripper. But it's not super offensive or anything. I think it's a very appropriate, and it kind of matches the yellow that's going on right there. Inside, of course, we have a single 18650, and we have the screen down here at the bottom, which I really wish that it had stealth mode. I'm not sure if it does or not. I haven't looked through the manual. Okay, so it does have a stealth mode. I lied. It has a stealth mode. If you tap, well, I just guessed. If you hit the fire button, the up and down button at the same time, it turns it into stealth mode. And yeah, the same thing to get the screen back on. So yeah, okay, they were smart, and they did that. I will give them credit for that. I gotta say, these Vandy Vape chips that they're coming out with recently are pretty freaking good. Remember the deal way back in the day when Tony Britton wanted to have the Pulse have the regulated Pulse have the Vupu chip? Yeah, they didn't need to do that ever, because the chip that they came out with from Vandy Vape is just fine. It's just fine. It's not lacking anything. Okay, the Gene chip does have a very fast response rate. There's definitely a delay with the chip that's in the Pulse 2. And this one as well. It's minimal, but it's there. But other than that, I can deal with something like that if it's, one, going to keep the cost down, and two, going to be just fine. You don't need to bring another company into it and cause all this drama if the product that you have in front of you is acceptable. I don't know. So that kind of went off on a little bit of a tangent, but basic point with that is the chip in here is just fine. It has support for all the different modes that you want, although I'm using it in just normal wattage mode. I don't think you need anything else than that, unless you're using stainless steel or whatever. But yeah, so I'm just using normal wattage mode at 50. You can change that to temp control and voltage and all that good stuff if you want to, but for me, I like wattage mode. To think that a tank, a little guy this size, can handle 50 watts, a little teeny tiny piece of mesh can handle 50 watts is freaking impressive. Build quality is good. It's no real complaints there. Plastic buttons, whatever. Not a huge complaint, but it also has a USB-C. I wish it would focus. It's a USB-C right down there, I assure you. It's a little blurry, but yeah, the USB-C is good because, one, you can plug the cable in either way. There's no wrong direction for it, and it's going to charge this thing really quickly. However, you can also take the battery out to charge. So yeah, they just thought of everything with this thing. It has a little window, and I'm going to complain about that because, yes, it doesn't have any sort of other window for light to get in there, so it's a little bit difficult to see, especially when backlit. I can't see any. Well, my juice level is so low that I think it's below the window. But normally, if you have clear liquid, you're not going to be able to see where your juice level's at in direct sunlight. So that's kind of unfortunate, but a little bit of a complaint there. Another thing is they didn't match up the color of this with this. I wish they made this gunmetal to match that. Now they did match up the black version with a black top cap here. So I'm kind of curious as to why they didn't bother doing that with these gunmetal-y ones. I'm assuming it's a different type of material, blah, blah, blah. The black one is coated, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, just kind of a little minor complaint there. Other than that, I think it's a pretty solid, stellar device. Now, these things keep getting better. The first one I really liked was the Snow Wolf A-Fang, I believe it was called. Don't quote me on that. But this one just completely tears that one up. I think this one is much better in the sense that it's much more metal parts, which is nice. The button is really nice, by the way. Nice and clicky. And not only that, I mean, I've left the biggest thing for last, which is, of course, the steel ropes. Steel ropes. Actually, you know what? Real quick, I keep showing the camera off up top here, but we're going to go over to the table cam view. Yeah. So here we got table cam. Ta-da. So, yeah, it has these steel ropes in there. Whoa. Got to get used to this. Focus. Focus. So it has those steel ropes in there, which is for your wicking. So your liquid will actually run up those cables. Come on. Come on. Ah. Okay. Manual focus it is, folks. I'll do it myself. Let's see here. Focus. Whoa, a little bit close. Let's see, right about there. So yeah, as you can see, the steel ropes in there, that's what brings the liquid up into the chamber, which is really quite unique. Now, those are a bit of a pain in the ass. They can fray on you. I almost ruined one the first time I put this pod in here. I almost ruined one of those because it pushed one little strand out, and then the whole thing started almost to unravel. So be gentle if you want to install that thing on there, or if you want to use this deck in general, because it can get messed up quite easily. Okay, here's my dirty cotton, as you can see. This is the dual mesh strip that they supply in the box. This is a pain because, you know what? I can drag this all the way over here. Whoop, boop. And I can drag this all the way over here too. Boop. So, yeah, here is your mesh strip. We're going to zoom in a little bit. And we're going to focus in a little bit. Ooh. I'm mousing with my left hand now. This is not easy. So, here you can see the mesh. You can see how it clamps. Pretty basic, nothing special there. You can see the filling port, which we're actually going to fill it up soonish. Filling port, very generous in size there. And lots of room for wicking material. My cotton's like orange. That's weird looking. But it has two O-rings at the top here to secure this top section, which is plastic on the bottom. So kind of interesting. But we're actually going to fill this thing right now because it needs to be filled. So, in order to do that, we grab our bottle of juice. Woo! Holy crap, the cap was not on there tight at all. Wow. And you just dump it in, basically. Best thing ever. You just dump your juice in. Takes quite a bit. I'm going to have to look at the specs in a second to tell you the actual figure. But I'm gonna take a wild guess and say 3 or 3.5 mil. It's definitely more than 2 mil, so it's not TPD compliant unless they have a different pod version for the European market. So there you go. And the inside here has your little contacts on it. And that's about it. Really nothing special to show off there. So you kind of want to go bottom in first and then just snap it into place. And I'm actually going to turn stealth mode back on. You have a nice little digital display there. And you could go 3 clicks on the button and then you can change it to the various different modes. I'm just going to leave it on wattage mode. And stealth mode, boom, all 3 at once, on and off. And the airflow is controllable as well. I believe, what is it? Yeah, you really have to work. You really have to work to control this airflow. So you have to kind of hold on to the pod or have the door on there, obviously. Should probably do that. And then you just crank this thing around. Now, I like it wide open because I'm vaping it at 50 watts. So I'm just going to leave it wide open. But you can kind of control the airflow. And it has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 slots there. 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yes, wow. Can't see. This cap just does not want to stay on that juice. I can't believe it stayed on in my bag this whole time. Boop and boop and going back to the main cam. Boop. Whoop. All right. So that was a fun adventure down to the table cam. Really need to get better table cams. I need to step my game up with this whole thing, this whole live thing. I want to do like a stand kind of setup. I think that would be really cool. Yeah, so we got the Brunhild style little metal rope things going on. It works just fine. I've been chain vaping this thing at 50 watts. Holds up nicely. Really no complaints there. But yeah, I'm almost blown away at how good this thing actually wicks and works and functions. It just works, man. It works quite well, and I can't wait to try out the pre-made coil that comes in the box. And like I said, I will probably end up doing a little re-review sort of follow-up video in another one. Probably when I review the Pulse, which is going to be next couple weeks, I will also do this one. Or possibly I will say that I'm considering doing a Monday stream that is not recorded. So basically it would just be like, 4 hours or something. We'll do like a long form. And so I'm considering doing a long form video on Mondays where I basically just hang out with you guys and we just talk and vape and play games and stuff like that. Won't be recorded. Everything is just going to be in the moment and live, and it just will end when it ends, and that's it. We're just going to call it a day. So the Monday streams are literally just going to be whatever. Anything goes, nothing's recorded, and whatever happens, happens. And then we can do like kind of follow-ups in there, stuff that I don't want to cram into other videos, and just have fun. Basically, Monday, fun day, sort of just whatever. Be like a mid-afternoon thing, so people from the UK can join in. It'll be like evening time over there. It'll be morning-ish time over on West Coast, and it'll be like early afternoon to mid-afternoon, evening in East Coast time. So that's another idea that I have for the Monday stream. Should be a lot of fun. I think I can set it up. It's going to be kind of the same thing where we have like the chat box going and all that stuff. Hopefully we get a bunch of people watching and participating. We can play some games. I can stream some games, or we can just do like a Jackbox Games thing because I have a bunch of Jackbox games. We did it on Savs, and there was a couple really good ones. I just got to go through them all and see which ones are good and which ones kind of suck for live shows. But in either case, that's a good idea there. Or I think it's a good idea. You let me know. You tell me. But let's take a look at the specs on this thing. There are 4 colors available. They're all pretty cool looking, in my opinion. There's a carbon fiber. There is this color that I have here is called Polar Phantom. Ooh. There's one called Silver Moonlight and Fantasy Forest. And then there's one called Wormhole. Honestly, I really hate these color names because they're not indicative of what colors are actually on them, unfortunately. But there you go. Because you don't really see which one you're buying. Okay, yeah, no. When you click it, it shows you which color you're buying. Okay, that's actually good. At least on Element Vape, you can actually select which color you're actually purchasing. But they're not indicative of what colors are actually on them, which is stupid. There's the Vandy Vape Kylin M AIO coils for the pre-built, and then there is also Vandy Vape Kylin M AIO pods for DIY RBA pod and pre-built pod available there. So you actually have the pre-built pod option with this one as well. In the box, you get the rebuildable and you get coils. Then, let's take a look at the actual specs. It takes a single high amp 18650. Wattage output is 5 to 70 watts, which is pretty impressive. Voltage output is 3.2 to 4.2 volts. Resistance range is 0.05 to 3 ohms. Temp control is 200 to 600 Fahrenheit or 100 to 315 Celsius. Supports stainless steel, nickel, titanium, and it has a variable wattage mode and temp control mode. Zinc alloy chassis construction, intuitive firing button, 0.49-inch OLED display, 2 adjustment buttons, slide-in pod connection, magnetic battery door, PCBA waterproofing. That's one thing that Vandy Vape gets right there. 10-second overtime, blah, 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 blah. Protections, all sorts of protections, and it has a Type-C charging port. The pre-built coil atomizer pod is 2.5 mil. Side fill, silicone stopper, dual slot, multi-hole airflow cap, coil series, they have a 0.3 ohm, rated 35 to 45 watts, press fit coils, yeah. And then the DIY pod, the one that I have here, is 5 mil. Okay, so it's 5 mil, which is really cool. Conical flavor chamber, dual slotted multi-hole airflow cap, postless clamp. You can build this with a regular coil as well, by the way. If I didn't mention that already, you can. 4 braided stainless steel wicking ports, spring-loaded ceramic cotton support, compatibility with Vandy Vape M sheet coils, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's the rundown on the Kylin M AIO 70-watt little AIO pod system, which is really cool. And I haven't forgot about everyone. I mentioned this last week, but yes, I'm still working on getting everything ready to go for Fresh Build Friday. Every little bit that I do gets me one step closer to that. So really the big thing is the big overall thing with this whole channel, whatever you want to call it, overhaul. I'm going to have like 3 different colors for the 3 different streams. It's going to all be the same theme that you see here because I purchased it and I'm going to use it. So I'm going to have Monday be like blue. I'm going to have my Wednesday stream be green. And I'm going to have my Friday stream be orange. And I'm going to eventually have like a proper intro after the 5-minute warning. I'm going to play an intro video and then go to this little scene here. So that's going to be cool. Probably gonna, for this one, it'll probably be the Let's Vape. This will become the Let's Vape video where we just chat and hang out, review a product, and then talk about other random stuff and drink some beer. Seems logical, right? Friday's gonna be Fresh Build Friday, where it's gonna be me chatting with people, talking about coils, wires, taking questions, showing off builds, promoting their Instagrams and whatnot, and basic wire theory, coil theory, etc. And then Monday, is just going to be anything goes, not recorded, not like just fully live stream. When it ends, it's done, it's over with. Those who were there can tell the stories to the masses. Those who weren't there missed out. That's what I want to do. So more content, basically. I'm streaming almost every day, whether it's on here or on Twitch. I'm doing a lot on Twitch right now. If you haven't followed me, go check it out. Twitch.tv/slightlybuzz. Links in the description. And I'm going to be cross-promoting both kind of outlets. My Twitch is monetized. You know, I want to make money again creating content. And since I can't do it straight from YouTube itself, I need to rely on my awesome patrons. As you guys saw in the intro video, I have that little slide thing that shows off the patrons. So as I get more patrons, that lists will hopefully grow bigger and bigger. And also I rely on super chats. I have down at the bottom, right down here, you can see my latest follower, all-time tipper, and also I have a little spot right in the middle, right there, for new tip. So if someone wants to throw a super chat up there, your name is going to go right there. Just saying. But hopefully, you know, with your guys' help and support, we could get this thing rolling. Ideally, it's going to be a full-time streamer. I would absolutely love to be a full-time streamer slash, you know, I guess it would be just streamer slash content creator. Eventually, I would love to get back into doing other projects as far as like recorded videos concerned, because I like using my skills. I have these skills at my disposal and I like using them. So I would like to get back into doing some recorded stuff as well. If I can go full time, then that's what it's going to be. It's just going to be videos all the freaking time. But I need your support and your help. I mean, just like any other streamer or content creator out there, they rely heavily on their viewership and their following to be able to do what they do. So, that's a thing. Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about the United Vapors Alliance DC Rally. That's happening on September 5th of this year. Let's see. You guys can go to unitedvaporsalliance.org. There we go. Ender's space seemed empty. Oh, did it not pop up? Uh-oh. Now I said it, and now it's broken. Hold on. I can fix it. It is... Which one is it? Support bar. That one. Support bar 3, bottom. Oh, there it is. Hey, Andrew's other game. What up, dude? See, look, you got a little thing up here too. $2 Canadian. Big shout out to you. He's already a patron. I don't know why he's donating even more, but hey, you know what? It's that buys me like a coffee or something. So thank you, Ender. Really appreciate it. So yeah, we have the rally happening September 5th of this year. We've already had one, when was it? Earlier this year. And they're doing it again. Bottom line is they're doing it again. They're have everyone come out to DC, Washington, DC, and show your support for vaping. As many of you heard last time, it was really awesome because I heard there was over 1,000 people there, which is really cool. To think that so many people could gather into Washington, D.C. at one time. Organizing vapors is like herding ferrets. It's impossible. But yeah, like they all got together, they made a stand, they showed support, and I think they got their point across because it was very soon after that Trump kind of backed down, and that was cool. Plus there was that photo op of what's it called? Air Force 2. What's it called? Is it Air Force 2? Or no, Marine 1. That's what it is. Marine 1, the helicopter. Flew over the top of them, and they got some really cool pictures of that. Greg Connolly spoke, and Alex spoke, and everyone got up there and got a chance to speak, which is really cool. But they need your help. You guys, please, if you have a couple extra bucks, donate it their way. Maybe, just $1 or $2 if you got it. Just to go over to their page, United Vapors Alliance, I posted it in chat. But yeah, make sure you guys check out their website, check out what they wrote on there. It's pretty much the same deal as last time. You know, we're getting closer and closer. Everything got pushed back a little bit this year, but we are getting closer and closer to the part of the industry that will get completely eliminated if things don't change. And at this point, stuff is happening, but it's not happening nearly fast enough, and it's also not the right stuff. So I don't know if anyone's heard this yet, but Avail Vapor got their products through the PMTA process. Surprise, surprise, Avail Vapor is owned 40%, 40 or 50% by Big Tobacco. So there's that. And then also they they probably have that Big Tobacco money pushing that through. But that's really the only news that I've heard of tobacco products getting through the PMTA process. They said that they're going to make it quicker and easier for small businesses, which is a kind of a good, little bit of a good sign happening. And basically, they're listening, but they just do things so slow. The government just does things so slow, and it's just not quite enough to be able to save the industry. So that's why we're rallying. So if you can make it on September 5th, it's a Saturday. What time? They don't really say a specific time as to exactly when they're meeting, but I'm sure if you show up, it's September 5th, 2020, Saturday, southwest quadrant of the Ellipse in Washington, D.C., 1450 Pennsylvania Ave. They need funding for more buses, rental equipment, and public relations. So if you guys want to give them a couple of bucks, they have donate buttons right on their main page on their website. They will also be, they are conscious that COVID-19 is a thing. It says here that per the request of National Park Services, UVA has implemented a COVID response action plan to promote the welfare of our attendees. UVA will have a first aid tent available with 2 medical professionals during the event. We will have hand sanitizer available at the first aid station. Masks are a requirement for the event. In the case that an attendee lost, forgot, or broke a mask, UVA will have 500 KN95 masks available at the first aid station. We will encourage that groups practice 6-foot social distancing, and we will reiterate this via our sound system throughout the event. There is a hotel block set aside for this event. You can get it, there's 50 rooms available at the Hilton Crystal City Hotel. It's $100 a night and discounted parking. So if you guys want a place to stay, there you go. Patrick King said it's noon to 4, so I would recommend, getting there early, meet up, hang out with some vapors, social distance, and all that good stuff. And I'm sure there's going to be events going on afterwards. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of stuff to do if you guys want to make it out to DC on September 5th. So there you go. I felt like I had to mention that because there's a big push right now to raise awareness. I'm sure you're gonna be seeing a ton of reviewers talk about this in the next few days. And that's pretty much all I've got for you guys this week. I know it's kind of a half-assed review portion of this video, and I do kind of apologize about that. But we will be doing a follow-up like I mentioned. Lots of new content coming, lots of things happening behind the scenes. I'm just trying to step my game up, man. I'm just trying to make this look as professional as possible and as good as possible for you guys. And really the next step for me is going to be camera. This needs to be better. And also that one over there needs to be better. So that's going to be like kind of next on the checklist. But yeah, that's what I got for you guys this week. I will be streaming live on Twitch directly after the stream, immediately after the stream. Not directly implies there's like a direction, but immediately after this stream ends, I'm going to go jump over on Twitch and squad up with my buddies and hopefully get some dubs on Modern Warzone. Modern Warzone, oh my god. I need my brain medicine. All right. Modern Warfare, Warzone, Yes. Wow. But yeah, make sure you guys go check that out if you enjoy video games. So, should be an entertaining time. I'm also very uncensored, we'll call it, over there. If you like to see sweary Nick, that's where you can see him on Twitch. But yeah, big things happening. Stay tuned this Monday. Around, my guess is going to be around like 4 p.m. Eastern time, which is 9 p.m. Over there in the UK. If you guys want to hang out with me, we could do some stuff, play some games, stream, and have a good time. Talk about some vape stuff. I'll answer questions. I'll do whatever you guys want to do. Big shout out to Big G for giving me the idea of doing some Jackbox games. He says, before you know it, 9 hours have passed. Yes. He actually gave me the idea. He said, oh man, it was way back here somewhere. He said, Quiplash, Fibbage, and Drawful are awesome for lives. Cheers to you, Big G. You are the real MVP. Anyways, guys, take it easy. See you later. I will catch you guys in the next stream, happening most likely on Monday. So stay tuned. Subscribe if you haven't. If you want to check out my website, dailyvape.tv, it's right down there as well. You can sign up for Patreon. You can check out merch. And also the Twitch link is down there if you want to give me a follow over there. Thank you guys for hanging out. And as always, vape on.